Hey guys, this is part 2 of the Void Rift on Nightmare difficulty. Now for the majority of this video it is just me playing through it at the time live, and there is one stage that actually caused me a great deal of grief, and yeah, I ended up recording that separately late in the evening because again it was a Sunday when I did the entirety of Nightmare in one sitting. I think it took me about nearly 3 hours in total, and by that point it was quite late at night, so I unfortunately couldn't really speak over this video, nor did I speak over the last video. So most of these stages it will just be me talking over it as I'm playing it, but one of these stages does especially bite me quite hard. So yeah, let's get into the video and let's play through Nightmare mode of Void Rift. Hey guys, this is the Void Rift on Nightmare mode phase 2. I'm going to talk over this while I'm playing it, and yeah, we'll see if we can get through it. I did just record, but I had some recording issues, so I cancelled a run partway through. I think it was going to work. There were some not so tidy parts about the run, and I can't remember what to change, so I'm just going to do the same thing again and see if it works. I got like halfway through, so I'm sure it's fine. It's a pretty tame mission for the most part. I think, from my experience, the first phase is the hardest, aside from Toreador at the end. Toreador is actually a real pain. But besides Toreador, there isn't too much trouble. I think phase 1 is hard. The very final of phase 3 is hard with Toreador. But aside from that, I really do think it's quite tame doing the Void Rift. Or at least the rest of the stages I don't think are as difficult. Phase 1 is quite hard. Toreador is hard. Everything in between I think is pretty attainable. So I've got Broke here in the middle tanking. Vortex is great because he's got such a nice reach with his heal. Hex I think is one of the best single target nukers in the game. I think it's great having a marksman do so much magic damage. And Vienna is my hero of choice if I ever need AoE magic damage done. These guys are going to keep duplicating, so I can just hold off and wait and then just blast them all. And I will need someone here. I probably can do this. While this is happening I can just ult and kill these guys off. And as they're coming up top I can get Arrogance down, and that's pretty much everything sorted. I believe Vienna can handle the bottom unless I'm misremembering. There might be enemies that run along the bottom, so I may need to restart. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, I'll place my Eloin up top so she can help handle that. I will ult with these guys so I can kill these off sooner, and yeah, I think that should cover the run unless I made a mistake and something big does go to the bottom lane, which I think it may well happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, these two marksmen are just absolutely trouncing these casters that are wandering through the lane. We have 9 enemies left, and Ludwig will not be making an appearance this fight. He'll just kind of loiter over there, being annoying, and then eventually he will leave. So I don't have to worry about him. I believe the only thing that can get in the way now is if there are enemies that run along the bottom. One thing that's nice, when these skeletons duplicate, when the boss kind of duplicates them, like I think he's going to do now, they seem to maintain the health they were duplicated at. So it's easy for Vienna to just ult and kill it. Huh? What happened? I swear something bugged out then. It's fine, I believe in Vienna's ability to kill. Yeah, a little bit close. It looked like the ult didn't hit because a bunch of them were left on no health, which is not how it works. Anyway, we now have 4 enemies left and there's 4 at top, so yeah, that's easy days. Cool, that is the first mission complete. No issues there. First attempt seemed to clear everything, assuming this doesn't spectacularly fail all of a sudden, so let's not be too relaxed. I can pick up my Vienna just in case. But I think we're going to be good. I don't think we're going to have any issues here. There we go. I can ult on Broke here just to make it extra safe. And all these ults are up now. Yeah, cool. That's that. That is the first mission complete on Nightmare. So, let's crack on. Phase 2. Having a look at the stats, you can see Hex and Vienna doing most of the work. Arrogance actually having a pretty good showing as well. I really like Arrogance. I will use him everywhere I can use him. He's just so versatile. So, second fight. Let's have a look. I don't have a great memory of this one. I think I remember that you need to defend AoE bottom, tanky enemies top, more marksman damage up top if I remember correctly. Vienna is not the pick here, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's see what happens. I should have read that thing. I saw something at the bottom left. There's something about 10 seconds, but I was not paying attention. I lost whatever that was, so that might come back to bite me. We will see. I think there's a tentacle spawns up here. That's why they've got a fighter tile there. So Arrogance with his ult up would kill it, which is probably enough. Wait, this is the one where he fires a tendril here, so I need... I mean, it's Broke here, so Broke here is pretty tanky. I'm a little bit concerned. I don't have to be. So that seems to have handled that until Hex gets gripped. Let's do this. And he's very magic resistant, isn't he? And where does your heal? It covers the whole platform. Lovely. If I do this, wait, where can I place a fighter there? Okay, so it'll be here, the tentacle. So I would, that's not going to reach, is it? I'm trying to be really clever with this and it's not working. I want to have, I like this. That way I can cover, yeah, there we go. That way I can cover Hex. I feel like that's the cleverer play. I could, okay, I'm just going to hold off. I don't think there's any rush to place things, so I've got some time. Hex can probably cover the top by himself for now. He does really good damage. I'll wait until they're closer and then I'll do that. But maybe, I'm just going to put Arrogance up there. I do like Arrogance. I'll ult to buy some time. Come on, help us out. No, focus the tentacle. This does not bode super well. A bit more healing up top. Could never hurt. Okay, here we go. Whew. Man, that's so messy. I mean, it worked, but... Oh. Can we please kill this one? This is really not Fiona's job, but she managed to handle it. I've still got one person up top. Oh no, I have Arrogance. Never mind, I have Arrogance. I'm not covering down here, so this is going to be very painful at some point. Just be safe. Come on, what's happening? There's that one. Arrogance's ult will be up before long, and he can hit the tentacle. Oh no, don't do the charge, man. It takes forever. Okay, cool. And that's done. This feels pretty safe. Like I said, I think phase 2 is actually quite a easy one as far as Void Rift goes. It's when it spawns here that will be troublesome. Here is not too worrying, really. This will be quite a pain because these guys hit hard, but Brokia has some really good invincibility states. There are 4 enemies left. There's 3 up. Okay, 3 enemies left because the boss left. Alright, first time. Lovely, that's what I like to see. And for damage, Hex at the top. Some really good result from Setram and from Arrogance. Fiona, again, was not really the hero. I kind of knew that, but I find it hard to let go of Fiona. I've got some really good other heroes I should be using, but Fiona's my babe, you know. And let's do the gold farming one. I can use all my legendaries, so this is going to be more fun. I have a lot of mages that are very powerful, so this will be a big farming session for me. Okay, this looks about right. I've got 3 pretty heavy hitting mages. I'm going to take the Curse Lord just because it's nice, and my Reeve is geared pretty well. I've got the debuffs as well coming in, and I've got 3 blockers, 2 defenders. I don't need another defender really, do I? I can get by without that. So I don't know what to take last. It doesn't really matter, but it's fun to mess with, you know? I'm thinking, yeah, Cerberus is fun. Let's use Cerberus. Anyway, this will be a doozy. I'll probably place everything and speed over it because it's not going to be super interesting. So we'll go for that one first because then we get some nice debuff. We will go with the Valk so I can get all the way up with the debuff. We'll go here, we'll go here, we'll go here. And then we'll do something like this. I don't know, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, let's get through this. I realize my sound has been muted this whole time, so let's get some volume back. Oh, need to make sure the enemies don't get through there. There we go. I really like the synergy of Reeve plus Fiona. I think they're a dream team. I use them together in Arena a lot now. Really good synergy between those 2 heroes. Pull them on top of my Cerberus. Come on, kill him. Let him die. Cool, so that is the end of the resource raid. I don't know who'll win the DPS, probably Fiona, just by the nature of having a culling ability. There we go, 35 mil, yeah. Cerberus doing pretty good damage, and actually, yeah, pretty good overall. I'm surprised that Arrogance did so badly. He was further back, but I don't know, he's not actually an AoE hero, but he does a very good job. But yeah, there we have it. Pretty good results. Easy win. I think I have about 2 more, maybe 3 more fights left until I finish the phase 2. I'm on a bit of a tight time because this is Sunday night for me, so I don't have very long to finish it all off. And anyway, yeah, let's move on. Okay, so I really didn't like this one. This one's really annoying. Applied to allies minus 70% damage from the tentacles. So you're kind of encouraged to ignore them? Okay. I think I can get away with Fiona at the bottom. Arrogant's going to assist up top. I will take Elowin for healing. Satram is too useful to not take. Now I need 2 defenders, so Brokir and Olag are my go-to picks there. And then now I need a way to deal with the tentacles easily. I don't necessarily need to, I can kind of ignore them, right? I'll do this then, I'm just going to take some more fighters. Oh, the tentacles can't be attacked, I didn't read that. Okay, you can't attack the tentacles, but they don't do much damage. So in that case, let's just bring another healer to be safe. Let's take Hex. Why would I not take Hex? I'm going to go with that. I'm not going to overthink it too much. I'm just going to take this, and I think this will probably be okay. But I can't attack the tentacles, so that's interesting. I'm going to go here with my Vienna, here with my Elowin, maybe here. And let's start off with this. And, oh, I do like Hex there, though. If I go here, I lose out a bit on my attack range. So I'll support Hex there, but let's get the healer down first. So, yeah. I'm a bit curious about this. The tentacles are doing less damage, which will help. But that probably is still a lot of damage. Ooh. Brokir is getting absolutely slapped. Can we have your ult, Brokir, please? Before you die? Very good. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. This is a lot of damage I'm taking. I just placed him outside of all of the hills. Wow. Well, he's not going to hold up very well, is he? Now I need to hope that Vienna can kill these guys, which I'm not sure she can. I placed her quite late. There's a tentacle. If it hits down here on Arrogance, then that's kind of the end of that. I'm going to wait for the boss to duplicate these guys, because I think he will in a second. Yeah, there we go. And I would love to place... So last time I ulted, it was like really janky, but will it actually work? If 4 of them didn't get hit, that was messed up. I'm sure 4 of them didn't get hit. Maybe I'll do a replay and you'll see in a second. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't get hit and I'm upset about it. What is going on? I might need to re-gear my Elowin to sort her out, because I geared her in a really weird way for Gear Raid 2 and I haven't really used it, so... Ah, that's unfortunate. I completely blew through that. I haven't got Hex down. I've had to go with 2 healers. This feels really bad. I don't think it'll be hard to win this mission, it's just going to be a bit fiddly. Let's get these down so I can get some damage out a bit sooner. And this time we'll put my Arrogance here. I think there must be some kind of cap on the number of targets she can hit. Because it seemed really weird a couple times now. Alright, let's see how bad this is. Oh, it's on you? No way. That's super annoying. So I have to despawn her. I guess I should probably rotate between Iona and Vienna to handle bottom lane. Or maybe take a Volker to reduce my respawn time. If it's random where it places, then I'm screwed. Because I can't defend bottom then. Because I can't even heal with Wood Elves on bottom. I don't think... How am I supposed to defend bottom? They're not fighter tiles here. I literally just have these 2 tiles. And this tile gets hit by these guys. And does the tentacle hit? Oh, hit tentacle, I want to see. Yeah, the tentacle does hit there as well. Not cool at all. However, it seemed to work. Maybe it was fortunate that it went on a bottom. I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing anything up top. I don't know, that was really weird. It seemed really hard to survive at bottom. I got lucky just on the timings of Vienna's ult and coming up and just killing everything before she died. So that was really close. So yeah, full points to Vienna there. Hex obviously doing a monstrous job as usual. And I don't know why I brought Setram. So I had a spare slot, I guess. That's nice. Cool. Well, that didn't take much. I think this is the final one. Let's go. Okay, so let's read this properly this time. Ludwig, when a target is affected by life leeching for more than 10 seconds, the effect will be removed from them. And platform heroes do bonus damage. I think this is the one where your heroes just straight up die if you don't protect them properly. I'm going to keep this. This is my ideal team. Stetram has got great range and piercing damage. Hex has pretty good attack range and very reliable damage. So I quite like using this combo for my Marksman. And then it's like Arrogant just fits any team. He's just a god. I should ban the man. This is the annoying one where I need to really cover. Yeah, okay. Just heal him! Hit it! What? I guess I was a bit delayed on my placement. I must be. I'm gonna wait. He's got his invulnerability. There we go. Now let's go. I was worried he was going to do that card thing where he takes forever to make a single attack. But I don't want this kind of damage here. I want the more reliable damage here. You know what? Hold on. No one is covering. That's a pain. Okay, you know what? Let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. Okay, good. We're fine there. And we do want a Vienna to handle this. So I think we're okay. I think we're covering here. Hex is covering here. Vienna is covering the group spawns. And then I'll probably place down Arrogance at the bottom. Hopefully facing like this to handle any tentacle that goes there. Otherwise my Vienna is going to get slapped. This feels so messy. No, I can't do it. That's too much. Ooh. Okay, that didn't work. So maybe I do need more because he breaks their like standing still phase. I wasn't really getting a lot of use out of my Arrogance. You know what? Just for the sake of doing things differently, I'm gonna try a Zealous. I never used the guy, so I'm curious if he has a place here. Mainly, oh, I forgot how expensive this guy is. Did he get more expensive? I swear he was like 25. My memory's bad. I think his ultimate from here will cover here. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll see if that is the case. Alright, Ludwig, come on. Throw your tentacle grip. Oh wow, that didn't need to happen. So I think that Zealous can reach with his ult from here to here. I don't know if that's worth what I'm hoping, but I'm going to give it a go because it's kind of different, right? Sometimes it's fun to try new strategies and see if they work. But I need to make sure I get this placement down in time, otherwise... Okay, target that first, very good. And let's not dally too much, otherwise I lose you. It takes so long with a bow! Okay, so let's go with the standard again. I'm not going to use Hex because he just sucks for reliable attacks at the start. I'll use this guy because otherwise everything will fall over. I'll do it like that, I guess. It's not really ideal. No, I can't because I need that for my Zealous. So like this. Oh my god. Okay, so we'll do the same thing as before. Heal. Hopefully Hex can deal with that soon enough. Thank you. Hex is so hit and miss. Sometimes he takes forever to fire his card. I really wish they would get rid of that. Nerf his DPS to account, I don't care, but my god is it awful. It's absolutely filthy to use. I'm gonna have to hold off and try this. I feel like this is a terrible idea, but we'll see. I already feel like this was a really bad idea. Okay, so because I keep editing, failing, and then I'm deleting the clips, I'm just going to explain what I've been doing and it's all failing and what I'm trying. So at the top lane, I had a lot of trouble. Let me just go to the map and show you. I had a lot of trouble up here because I placed Broke here right here in this tile. And I wait for the boss's life leeching or something. Yeah, life leeching. And the problem is it kills you if you don't kill it in time. So I wait, it hits Broke here. I place Hex here, facing up. And then Hex bakes a cake, and then he fires and it's too late because he has this dumb talent where it takes 5 seconds before he takes his shot every 4 or 5 attacks. And sure, it does great damage, but the tentacle's got like that much health left, and he takes so long that Brokir dies. So I got rid of him. I like him a lot, but I got rid of him out of the team because he's just not reliable. And instead I put Arrogance behind him facing across. Now Arrogance is doing a bang up job, really, really useful, defending all these tiles as well from other tentacles in future. So that works fine. And then there are a bunch of skeletons that come along through here, and this has been a real pain because they duplicate here. And they get to such a number that I can't kill them with Vienna because their health is too high. So I tried Maul, freezing them, and then it makes them move sooner, but I couldn't get the timings for him to do it early enough that it actually mattered. It didn't give me enough time. So I swapped to using Vienna plus Karma and just going for the full Mage Ham nuke. And it works, but not very reliably. Sometimes I get the timings right and I can kill them all, but it's very clutch, it's very close. So that's not really working at the moment. And yeah, I managed to get all the way to the boss, but then the boss kept spawning these tentacles, and then that kind of wiped me as well because these tentacles do so much damage. And yeah, I got all the way to just the boss left, but the tentacles spawning on both sides eventually crushed my healer, and eventually I lost my defender, which was painful. Very close run, but I cut it out because it's like a 5-minute run, and I can just explain what happened, and hopefully I managed to beat it now. So I'm not too sure what to do differently, to be honest. At the moment, I'm considering using Cerberus to help deal with bottom, and then maybe I don't need a Karmet. Maybe I can get away with something else. But Cerberus's respawn time is massive, so I'm unsure if that's the right way to go. I'm going to try Hex again. Anyway, yeah, that's what I've been trying. That's what's gone wrong. I'm going to give this a go and see how we get on. So this is the final mission of the Nightmare Void Rift Phase 2. And it's actually really difficult. I was expecting to have no issues with this, and I was completely wrong. This was actually very painful. As you can see, applied to enemies, which is us. After 10 seconds, the effect is removed and you lose the hero. That's kind of how this works from the life leeching effect, which are like the tendrils that wrap around your heroes. And platform heroes gain 20% damage bonus. That's the two benefits effects that are on this mission. For me, they are random each time. So this is the team I ultimately took in the end. This is the successful run that worked. I kept the clip where I kind of explained what I'd been trying and what wasn't working. Honestly, it was a massive pain getting Hex and Arrogance to actually successfully free Brokir at the start. Sometimes Hex would have a seed where he fires his really long, slow arrows. He needs the blue card to fire quickly, and then it doesn't work otherwise. Arrogance, I think I changed his gear to get a bit more attack speed. I might be wrong, but either way, eventually I got it to work, but it was quite fiddly. Okay, so Oleg goes down. He's a bit tankier than Brokir, surprisingly, just because the shields are so good. And he's able to hold on by himself for a while without a healer as well, which makes things a bit more comfortable. Ultimately, the tactic becomes using Arrogance instead. I was considering using Satram, but his attack speed just isn't good enough. So I wait, and just as the health bar appears, I place Arrogance, and then I drop Satram as well. That means I have two people attacking the tendrils rather than just one. It makes it a lot more reliable. And my Olag can survive without a healer for a fair while as well, so it works out plenty fine that way. I can then ult on Setram to get some damage out sooner. And now all I'm doing is waiting to get my Brokir down to block bottom. He's covered by Elowin as well, so that's all good. And right now everyone is covered by attacks, other than Hex, who I'm just about to place. And I place Hex facing down because I really need to kill these skeletons before they duplicate twice. It's inevitable that they're going to duplicate at least once, because the boss does it quite soon. So right there, and they're invincible while that's happening. While this is happening, I do drop down my Viona facing down to help deal with the skeletons that get through. And you can see that Hex's invulnerability passive dodges the first attack, and he's able to kill two of the skeletons. Unfortunately, my Viona dies, which I didn't see coming, so that was a mistake in this run. And I despawn Hex before he gets killed by that mage. But he did a lot of damage. He killed two of the skeletons, reducing the maximum from 8 to 4. And you can see he massively harmed one before it duplicated. Unfortunately, because it's massively injured, Setram is able to deal with it. And now there's only 2 skeletons and 2 adds coming to the bottom lane, which can all be held by Brokir. Although he did have his passive popped just now, which is unfortunate. Yeah, things are a bit sketchy, but I have pretty good support. I can drop down Viona. Viona is not in range of that tentacle, fortunately. And I have enough DPS surrounding Elowin that she's broken out in no time. And at this point, I just really need to kill these adds quickly. You can see Brokir really, really nearly died there. But he just about held on. The tentacle is gone now. It comes back again, which is a pain. But at least it's attacking only Brokir because no one else is in range. So it's actually kind of fortunate for me. Enemies are signaled to be coming again, so I need to drop down Hex because I really need to reduce the number of skeletons. Fiona's ult finally finishes off that big guy up bottom, down bottom, who was a real pain. And again, the tentacle is going to despawn. The skeletons are duplicating, which is a pain, but I do manage to delete one of them, so that's fortunate. and a second one goes down. At this point, Hex decides to shoot the random ad, and he's about to die, so I despawn him. But again, I half the number of max skeletons, so I win there. Now we're just defending top. We do have Arrogance and Setram focusing top, so it's a good amount of damage. So there's nothing too concerning there. And now we've got 4 skeletons on the bottom who will die to Vierna in no time. And now the main issue is at the final phase, the boss spawns 2 tentacles, one at top and one at bottom, which means the middle platform gets absolutely crushed. So I'm waiting on Vierna to kill the 2 skeletons so I can despawn her. The reason I want to despawn her is I don't want to stretch, especially Vortex, on healing. I want Vortex and Elowin to be healing only the important people up top. So I despawn everyone who isn't like key to the top lane, because this is the only lane that matters right now. Nothing else will spawn at bottom. I just need to kill the boss. And there is a lot of damage coming in, especially from the tentacles slamming down. So if I place here, I can have my Hex focus just the tentacles, which is why I placed him on the edge. He's not helping with the boss. It does ensure that I have someone to delete that tentacle anytime it spawns. And the tentacle on the bottom doesn't matter because it can't actually reach anyone. So now it's just a slow run to kill the boss off. There's nothing really to go over at this point. It's quite safe. Hex will kill the boss whenever it spawns. And I just have to wait for Arrogance to kill the boss. In 10 seconds, 20 seconds, I can place either Setram or Vierna to help deal with the boss as well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that in the end. It was actually really painful. It took me several attempts, many attempts, over 10 attempts to get this to work. The main clutch for this run for me was getting Hex on the podium on the left, just over here. Trying to use Carmet facing down here and Vierna here, that did work, having just a massive burst of damage. But it was just so fiddly getting the timings right, because you can only block 4 heroes, and if you pile 2 defenders or a fighter and a defender here, it just gets kind of messy and resource heavy. So just having Hex on the left side occasionally to deal with the skeletons worked out perfectly for me. If you had a Hatsoot, that would be incredible. I think Hatsoot is basically what that's built for, personally. Honestly, I quite often notice what I refer to as Hatsoot tiles, where it's just like a tile by itself with no other fighters, no healer tiles next to it, and there's loads of enemies that would kill it. And it's clearly just built for Hatsoot. I think that's a Hatsoot tile, but Hex, fortunately, is like an incredibly budget Hatsoot, but with better single target nukes. So anyway, that's how I beat that eventually. It did take me quite a lot of work. Pretty much the end of this for phase 2. So hope you guys found this interesting. Let me know what you think in comments below. I'm always interested to hear how you guys get through these stages or things that you want to hear more of in future. Sorry, in these recordings, I would like to mention more about the buffs and debuffs as they are very important. I didn't really realize until I went around to doing Nightmare for the 2nd time this current week that I'm editing this video. So yeah, definitely pay attention to your buffs and debuffs, and if you're copying my strats and it's not working, it could be because of the buffs and debuffs, which are massively effective. The stage conditions, I think they're called. Anyway, good luck with your runs, have a lovely week, take care, and bye-bye.